Rachel Johnson's absurd defence of her brother and claims that had the Downing Street comms team, as communications team, been more user-friendly, then Boris, her brother, would still be in power today. She is wrong. Of the Boris clan, I must say, I think Rachel Johnson is the one member of that family who I think is the most shifty. I think Boris is actually, as Rachel would probably try and claim, fairly straightforward. He's a bit like a blustering teddy bear. But he is a liar. And in the end, that did for him. A charming liar, but it did for him. And the real problem was his inability to stick to one story. Even with the Chris Pincher issue, which I think is the final nail in the coffin. I mean, go back to the point at which his resignation became inevitable. That was at 6:02 p.m. on a Tuesday evening when Sajid Javid resigned, and 12 minutes later, Rishi Sunak followed suit. And I don't think it was possible from that point for Boris to even consider surviving, but he did, of course. He did. And he tried, like Rachel Johnson, his sister, to shift the blame elsewhere, to Dominic Cummings, to Pincher. But, it's... The real problem was his inability to take control, to assume leadership. And that is the problem. And the lies were a symptom of that problem, a symptom of his failure to hold on to a single point of reference, that is leadership. To make a decision and keep it. Boris can't. For that matter, I don't think Mrs. May can. Hers wasn't deceit. Hers was vacillation. But it comes down to the same issue. It's not leadership. Liz Truss tried to take note of the failure of her two predecessors, and she was unbending. But she'd hoisted her flag on the wrong mast. And she was unnaturally weak. So again, not a leader. Is Rishi Sunak a leader? I don't really know. Again, he's not addressing the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is the NHS strikes and the rail strikes, a looming teacher strike, and all manner of other strikes on the horizon. The elephant in the room is discontent. And his solution is mathematics. His solution is a 5-point plan. We should have heard that 5-point plan some months ago. If it's so central to his being. No, the 5-point plan is a distraction, and a good leader is better than that. So again, I'm afraid Rishi is playing from Boris's rulebook. Foolishness. All we have to do is go back to Sajid Javid's resignation letter. Sadly, in the current circumstances, the public are concluding that we are neither popular nor competent, and that we're not acting in the national interest. We cannot continue like that. Johnson's moral authority was eroded. I don't think the Prime Minister any longer has the support, not just any support, but he doesn't have the support of the party or indeed of the country anymore. said Bim Afalami. He was the Conservative Party vice chairman, and he told a cable news team this within an hour or so of Sajid Javid resigning. The anchor of the news channel said, "But you're the vice chairman of the Conservative Party." He said, "Probably not," after having said that. And the problem got worse and worse. Now, I'm going to stop there because I can hear my voice going again. So I need to find a way to get my voice back before Saturday. So the little things I'm going to do here are going to be very brief. But the conclusion to this is that Sajid Javid is unfortunately going down a Boris Johnson route. And that route is not necessarily lies. Lies were never the issue. Lies were the symptom. Lies were the symptom. And the real issue was a lack of leadership and a lack of clarity.